This is section 3, basic strategies, and this lesson is going to be some basic tips about Texas Hold'em. So these are going to be some key things that you guys need to keep in mind if you really want to be successful and be profitable playing Texas Hold'em poker. So let's go ahead and get started. So number one, stick to playing good cards. As much as you may hear people saying that good poker players can play any two cards, do not believe it. That's what the professionals do, and they're getting paid tons of money on television to play certain hands in certain ways, and you guys definitely should not be taking that kind of hyped approach. So you need to be patient, and you need to throw away the majority of hands. So like I discussed in the earlier lesson, play the hands that I discussed with you and you will win. That's how you need to play your hands and your cards. You should not be going out of the norm trying to play 7 deuce or something like that because you see Doyle Brunson doing it, because it's not going to make you a winner. You're going to end up losing more money than you do make. Number 2, always think about your position. Your position at the table will have a huge influence on the outcome of the hands that you play. You're going to be amazed at the amount of power you have when you get to act after your opponents. So you need to keep track of the dealer button and your position at all times. Stay focused on it, and usually after probably about a week or 2 of playing while keeping an eye on the position, it just becomes second nature, and it just becomes a habit where you already have it figured out and you already know what position is where at all times, and it's very easy for you to play after that. Number 3, do not get addicted to bluffing. So bluffing can win you some extra pots, but it isn't the heart of winning poker. And I'm going to show you guys different tips and strategies on when to bluff, how to bluff, and how you can be profitable, but that doesn't mean that I'm letting you guys know that bluffing all the time for every possible pot is the best idea. It's a great feeling to pull off a successful bluff, but it's a terrible and even shittier feeling to get caught bluffing. And that's just the honest truth behind it. It's awesome when you get a successful bluff, but when you get caught bluffing, it's embarrassing and it's terrible. So you should only be bluffing in the right situations, and you should really limit how often you bluff. Bluffing is kind of like a last resort to winning a hand. If you can win the hand by making the hand, that's absolutely the best way to make money on poker because it's risk-free. Number 4, you need to use math to your advantage. So math in poker is not hard at all, even though a lot of misconceptions and myths are going out there. Math is a very, very integral part of the game, and it may sound scary, but you can figure it out very quickly. It's very handy, and it will make you profitable. And later on this course, I have a full section just dedicated to the math of poker, so I can make you guys number crunching machines on the poker tables without using a calculator or anything like that, so you guys can do very, very well and really be able to use math to your advantage. And lastly, the 5th and final tip that I have for you guys is consider everything that is taking place at the poker table. So a thinking poker player is the one who wins, so your mind should constantly be working at the poker table. If you win or lose, it doesn't mean that you made the right or wrong play. Sometimes bad players or bad play wins hands or makes money, and sometimes good plays and good players lose money. That's just the way the game goes because of the element of luck. So when you do make decisions, think about why you're doing it and what you're expecting to accomplish from it. This is a very key part of the game, so you really need to understand why you're doing something and what's happening as a result of what you're doing. So you need to see the game from all of the angles, and you need to study the other players and the game even when you fold it. So just because you folded a hand doesn't mean you can kind of zone off into space or watch TV or whatever it is. You should really be watching the game and the flow of the game to see how other players play, who's bluffer, who's aggressive, who's a tighter player, stuff like that. And you just want to understand why other players make certain moves and if they're playing well or if they're making mistakes. And you can really learn a lot from other people's games. So that's another huge thing that you want to be doing, especially early on in your poker career. That's it for this section. I just wanted to share 5 basic tips with you guys that are going to be very crucial for you guys to take in and understand as we kind of keep chugging along through this course. I'll see you guys in the next section.